drives me nuts sometimes. There you go, Buzzards Bay sea bass action.
Welcome to New England Boating. I'm Parker Kelley.
And I'm Tom Richardson, and today we're in Mattapoisett, Massachusetts on the western shore of Buzzards Bay. It's a boater-friendly town with a rich maritime history.
That's right, Tom. Mattapoisett was a huge shipbuilding center in the 1800s, supplying vessels for shipping and also the whaling industries. We're going to tell you a little bit more about the history of Mattapoisett later on in the show. But first, we're going to give you a tour of this beautiful harbor and show you what you need to know as a boater.
Then we're going to go ashore, show you some of the village, the shops, the restaurants, and other attractions that make Mattapoisett so special.
We're also going to head out and do some fishing.
That's right, we are. The sea bass are running right now in Buzzards Bay, and I hear the action's red hot. Well, I mean, we got a lot to do today. We better get started, huh? Yeah. New England Boating.
Mattapoisett.
Let's go.
See, that's hooked.
That one's just
He's
a,
not
that
getting
one's
out.
just. Well, let's get on Ripple and take a look at the harbor, and you can show us around.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah. So you're on a classic 1968 Bertram Flybridge cruiser.
68.
Yep, I
Wow.
bought it shortly, when my wife were unclear when we bought it, if it was before we were married or after, and this year will be our 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
So it's been about 25 years in our family.
Now you have the Boatyard has some history of boat building itself. Weren't the first two surf hunters
That's
actually
right.
built in
That's correct. At Mattapoisett Boatyard, Art McLean, who's the owner of the yard, he built the first two surf hunters out of marine plywood. Ray Hunt came down. It's a great story. Ray Hunt came down and they launched the very first one, and they took it for a ride. He said, nope, turn right around, go back. And Art's like, why, what's the matter? He goes, the lifting strakes are wrong. And they pulled it up with the railway, of course, you know. He needed about 10 minutes under the boat to re-screw them, refasten them into the bottom, and they took it out. He goes, okay, now that's the boat.
But he knew.
That's the
He
design,
could tell.
and he knew.
So entering the harbor is pretty straightforward, right, Dave? I mean,
It's very straightforward.
and
There's
so-
Nyes Ledge buoy outside, and then 3 green cans that mark the Mattapoisett Ledge, which is just off of Mattapoisett Neck.
Yep.
Besides that shoal or ledge, really it's all open water coming in the harbor. There are 2 red nuns here. You really don't need to honor those 2 nuns. This is local knowledge now. You go at your own risk. This is all Mattapoisett Neck, which forms the other side of the harbor. The Mattapoisett Boatyard is on Neds Point, which is the town side, let's say, and this is outside of town.
So Dave, is there a beach around here that people can come in and spend the day at?
Yes, this is what you're looking at here is called Shining Tides Beach. Even in a southwest wind, it's you're
Nice and
fairly protected
nice
here.
and protected there, yeah. So Dave, these green and white moorings, they're owned by Triad Boatworks, which is another boat shop in town, right?
That's right. They also operate about 15 business moorings out here that they use for their customers to come and go. But when they're not being used, these are free to stay on.
Mm-hmm. So Dave, that's the town dinghy dog. That looks pretty new.
That's right. It was new 2 years ago. This whole wooden dock structure that you see was constructed at the same time to accommodate a few more boats and slips for the town, but more importantly to accommodate these floats for the dinghies. So now there's finally access for the general public to come here with their boat and bring their dinghy in and tie up and walk around, have lunch, dinner. Yeah, this harbor is a very safe harbor. There's not a lot of traffic, right down that main channel. Everything's spread out. One thing Mattapoisett's known for too is you can go out to your boat, hoist the sails, and sail away.
Well, hopefully we've given you some of the basics on what you need to know about visiting the harbor by boat. For more detailed information on everything from harbor master contacts to the local fishing scene, check out our website, newenglandboating.com. Up next, Parker takes a look at the history of Mattapoisett with a visit to the Historical Society.
I'm so happy to be standing here with Seth Mendel, the official historian of Mattapoisett. If you want to know about the history of Mattapoisett, this is the man to speak with. Tell me what you're going to be telling us today.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the ships and the shipyards, where they built the whale ships here in Mattapoisett. I'm going to take you into our carriage house and show you many of the artifacts that we have gathered over the last 100 years here in Mattapoisett. It was one of the first meeting houses built in the village of Mattapoisett. We now have it, fortunately, to use as a museum. Now, I do want to mention this artifact that we have, this large chart that we have. That is a chart of the southern New England coast, painted by a well-known artist. He painted during the late 1800s. That happens to be my great-great-grandfather, Nathaniel Freeman. He was first mate on the whaling ship Liverpool, and he was swept overboard by a wave in the Indian Ocean. And what the captain did was to bring Nathaniel Freeman's chest home, and you can see the NF, Nathaniel Freeman, laid in whalebone.
So above us is a mast for a whaling ship. Is this correct?
That is
correct.
correct.
A real mast.
This mast was the mizzen mast, which is the aft mast on the whaling ship Wanderer, which was the last whale ship built in Mattapoisett in 1878. There were two sides of Mattapoisett history. One side is the waterfront and the shipbuilding, and the other side is agrarian and farming, like this wonderful fire engine here.
1821.
1821 pumper. This is a old logging wagon that they used to haul logs and timber out of the woods.
Now, Seth, you were going to tell us about this big kettle, which is actually a blubber pot.
The purpose of these kettles or pots was that when they harpooned the whale and they brought him alongside the whale ship, they would strip off the blubber in long strips. The oil that they got out of the blubber was used as lamp fuel. And the reason it was used for lamp fuel is that whale oil was so pure that it burned with no odor and no smell and was absolutely bright, gave a tremendous amount of light.
Coming up, we're going to find a place to grab a bite to eat here in the beautiful village of Mattapoisett. We're also going to find the perfect spot to drop our kayaks. But first, let's check in with Tom to see how he's doing on the fishing front. Stay with us.
Oh, man.
Ned
Walter!
Well, Dave, the weather is cooperating, the wind is staying light, so looks like good conditions for fishing. Let's go blast out, see if we can catch some black sea bass.
Sounds good to me.
Excellent.
Let's go.
We're on Buzzards Bay, in the middle of the bay pretty much, and it's sea bass season. During that time you can catch a lot of real big fish up to 6-7 pounds in fact. I like to use Spro jigs and anywhere from 2 to 4 ounces depending on how fast the tide is running. And I believe this also sort of imitates a squid or a small bait fish as well. I like to use braided line because it's thinner. The current doesn't affect the line as much as with monofilament, which can cause a belly in the line. Because ideally you want the line straight up and down. So as you're hopping the jig over the bottom, you can feel it tapping bottom and you can feel when you get a strike and you can set the hook. And then I tie the lure on using a loop knot. I feel that it allows the jig or the lure to perform a little bit better as it's going up and down. You want that nice jigging action so the lure is kind of hopping over the bottom. Even though sea bass will hit a lure without bait, I do like to sweeten it with a little squid. There's your squid strip right there. And then I like to split the tail of it. That not only gives it a little more action, it also helps it from, prevents it from hanging up and getting snagged on the hook. So there you have it, and that's all you need for sea bass. I'm all set to go. All I do now is drop it to the bottom and hope the fish climbs on.
Ready?
Yeah, just kind of grab him down near the hook. Oh,
There we go.
Oh, you missed him. No, you got him.
Yeah. It's a good day for fishing.
There we go. It's another real nice sea bass. Just got to get fresh bait and just come to the right area and send down a jig, and that's all you do. Well, Dave, it didn't take us long to catch a sea bass dinner, which is a good thing because we're going to head back to Mattapoisett and find a place to drop in our kayaks. But first, we're going to check in with Parker, who's at the inn at Shipyard Park.
I'm here at the inn on Shipyard Park. in the heart of historic Mattapoisett Village. We're going to go in, meet the owners, get a tour, and see what's cooking. Let's go. It's the oldest seaside inn still operating as an inn in its original structure.
I mean, at this point, this building has been virtually everything. It's been an inn. It was right across from the Shipyard building, the park. It was a tavern. It's been a single-family home. It's been pretty much everything. I love where it is. It's a great spot. And when it's quiet, it's really quaint. And when it's happening, the energy is it's a really good vibe.
So speaking about the energy and the vibe, there's music here as well.
Yes, we have entertainment Thursday through Saturday. So it's usually we'll do a little blues, do a little jazz.
Playing anything from newer stuff to Duke Ellington stuff, and it's another thing where it kind of fits the building. It suits the building.
Tell me about this inn. If you had to tell people who don't know anything about it, who are on the other end of the television screen, what do they need to know about it?
Great place to just come and relax, sit on the porch, have some lunch, some dinner. We have a jazz brunch first Sunday of every month. We also have some inns available.
Yeah, you got a suite on the 3rd floor. You got plenty of space to just enjoy the 3 months of sunshine that we get.
I'm here behind the scenes with Chef David at the inn on Shipyard Park. And David is going to show us how to make his famous signature jambalaya. Now this is a seafood jambalaya, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now is that a New Orleans dish, or is it one of your dishes? How do you?
Well, normally, if you have this in New Orleans, it's going to have andouille sausage. But we're New England, so we're going to use linguiça. You'll always see a sausage, a protein, and a seafood in this dish. I'm just going to do a little rough chop of the linguiça. This is Portuguese sausage, and it's the more milder version of the sausage. The chorizo is a little more spicy. We're going to use a Cajun spice, so this one we're going to go with a mild one, just so we can control the heat.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay, so this is the more mild meat, but if someone wanted to pump it up, they could.
Oh, yeah.
They take a little hints from you today. Okay, what else do we put in there?
We got some smoked paprika, a little Cajun rub, garlic, shallots, fresh ground pepper. I've par-cooked my onions and peppers. We have some nice leeks.
So you're sweating out your leeks?
Yep. This is a real easy dish. It's a great dish to utilize in your leftovers. If you have leftover duck or chicken or some steak tips, works great for this. It's a one-pot move, nice and quick. Now we're gonna go with our shrimp.
Oh yeah, I'm a complete pro with this. Oh, that looks good.
Our rice pilaf. This is chicken broth that I've already had simmering.
Oh, look at it bubble up.
Just gonna cover it. And we just simmer. That's about it. Our liquid's almost reduced all the way. I'm gonna hit it with a little pinch of white wine.
Okay. Very colorful.
It's a great dish. We're gonna do a little scatter garnish.
Okay. That's the parsley?
Yep. Little accents with our smoked paprika.
Oh, pretty. I love the contrast of that color with the green.
And a little rosemary.
Fresh rosemary. Beautiful. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go sit on your gorgeous porch out there and get served like a regular customer.
There we are.
Oh, Chef Dave's signature dish, jambalaya. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
I
Thank
cannot
you.
wait to try it.
Enjoy.
Thank you. More of Mattapoisett coming up, but first Tom and I are going to show you where we're going to go kayaking in the sweetest little river. You won't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Oh, Tom, this is going to be great.
Yeah, I think we got ideal conditions right now.
Oh, look at the spot to drop these kayaks. Oh, and it is just like glass.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, you ready?
Yep, ready.
There we go. We're on the water. We're paddling. We're paddling.
Wow, this is absolute glass.
Yeah, no, it's nice. Now this, you're always gonna find, in here, I think you're always gonna be well protected, yeah. The river apparently, it's about 11 miles long and it starts up in It starts up at Sniptuit Pond, which is up in Rochester. But yeah, you can come in here and you can beach the kayak up on this beach over here. That's part of the YMCA area. You see that? You see
Something
that
jumped. Fish?
The fish just jumped.
Where's your rod?
I don't know. Left it back on the boat. Let's go get him. Well, that was some great kayaking on the Mattapoisett River. Right now, Parker's heading over to Neds Point Light, and I'm going to seek some cool refreshment here at the Seaport Slip. Well, I'm here with Neil Vandal, whose family owns the Seaport Slip. Now, the Seaport Slip is the snack shack, ice cream shack right here at the town wharf. Neil, how long have you guys run the shack?
We've been down here now 12 years. It's our 12th season on the wharf.
That's great. It's a great location. Kids come flocking here.
Yeah, we have a great location.
That's great. Now, what kind of stuff do you serve besides ice cream?
We do a little bit of everything. We have salad sandwiches, we have some fried foods, and we always try something new every year. We have specialty drinks, and ice cream is our #1 staple here at the Slip.
Yeah, and you also have ice, and for boaters who are going out.
Block and bag ice. It's always available, and we open at 6 in the morning and go till pretty much the line stops at night, anywhere from 9, 10 o'clock, and on certain nights, even closer to midnight with the wharf dances down here for the kids.
It's pretty tasty. What am I eating here?
That's our Moose Tracks by Hoods.
Mm-hmm. And how many flavors do you serve?
We carry 14 flavors of hard scoop, and we have soft serve and chocolate and vanilla.
Well, thanks a lot, Neil. Come down and see Neil and his family here at the Seaport Slip at the town wharf. Well, I'm here with Chris Demakis. He is the owner, proprietor of the Town Wharf General Store, a brand new store that opened up right here near the wharf. So Chris, tell us how the idea behind the market all came about.
Sure. So I'm a Mattapoisett native resident. We've moved back here 14 years ago. This is our house, actually.
Yeah.
And we used to rent out the storefront, and we decided about a year ago that we wanted to do something for ourselves. So, we started renovating, and then the neighbors started saying what they wanted, and we listened, and we decided to come up with the concept of the general store. We can bring in new products.
Yeah, right. So it's great. It's a great resource for boaters, obviously.
Yes.
They can come, dock up, or if they're staying overnight, rather, as a transient, they can come in here, reprovision.
We definitely kept boaters in mind when we started to source our products. So we've got, things that are easy to take, from salsas to great pickles. We've got lots of things like snacks, and we're gonna have sandwiches to go and cheeses, you name it. So.
Yeah, so people coming, staying as transient boaters, whether on a mooring or at the boatyard, can take advantage of it, come here and restock, and they can even call ahead, can't they?
Yes, they
try
can.
to arrange for that stuff, right?
Yep, they can call ahead. So if they want to come into the store or they want to bring their boat in, we can probably bring it down to the dock for them.
Yeah.
And we're also hoping to team up with a local boatyard. People can go to townwharfgeneralstore.com, and they'll be able to order online, pay for everything online, and then hopefully the launch service here in town will be able to deliver products at a set time.
And I wanted to ask you about this little item. What's the man can all about?
Well, we're committed to carrying New England-based products,
Yeah.
and Plum Island Soap Company up on the North Shore, we carry all their personal care products, and this is, I guess, one of their biggest sellers. And it's everything the modern day guy needs to stay clean, I guess.
That's right. You got a bar of manly soap, extremely spicy shaving gel, masculine bay rum oil, and a scratchy body mitt, and some other stuff in here. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, come down and see Chris and pick up your own personal man can.
$30-ton lift, that equates to approximately about a 50-foot sailboat.
Dave, tell us a little bit about the Mattapoisett Boatyard and some of the services that you guys offer. It was founded in 1962, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
We bought the business from Burr Brothers, which is now located in Marion. We started with just a few moorings out here in the harbor. Now we operate 200 moorings.
Wow.
Guest moorings. And then we also service another probably 300 moorings in the harbor.
Wow, that's a lot of moorings.
A lot of moorings, a lot of change, yeah.
That's right. And
Yeah.
so you also do canvas work, boat rigging, and
we
all
do
that?
all services of marine repair. We're best known for our mechanical and fiberglass fiberglass work, painting, that sort of thing. We're in such a great location. We're only about 5 miles from the Cape Cod Canal.
Yep.
So on a sailboat that's even disabled under sail trying to get in, we'll tow them into the harbor, get them on a mooring, and get them going as soon as we can.
Excellent. And it's also the only place in Mattapoisett Harbor to get fuel, right?
We've got a modern digital fuel pump that we can program to today's, unfortunately, high gas prices.
But it's a thing of beauty.
It works every single time you turn it on.
That's right, and
great.
it's big and shiny. You can't miss it from the water.
That's right.
Well, obviously, this is a giant stack of winter sticks that you guys have just taken out, right? Shows you some of the amount of moorings that you guys attend to.
This is about a third, maybe, of all the winter sticks that we go through.
It's unbelievable.
We operate 3 launches all summer long, from basically early June till Labor Day, and then all the way until Columbus Day.
So they just hail you on the VHF.
We even have a cell phone. They can
Oh,
call
you're
us.
kidding me!
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
you
amazing.
guys are really modern.
Yeah,
I gotta
that's
tell
right.
you.
It's a travel lift and our crane that makes this whole business move. So this is the most reliable piece of equipment that we have.
That's right.
30-ton lift, that equates to approximately about a 50-foot sailboat. We're the only waterfront boatyard, family owned and operated since, of course, since '62, and we've got a great staff of people always willing to help.
Guess who we ran into here at Ned Point Light, but Seth Mendel, historian of Mattapoisett. Tell us a little bit of the history of this lighthouse.
Well, I'm glad to do that because it was one of the first lighthouses built in this area. And it was built because Mattapoisett really was a busy port with its shipyards.
So this is like a beautiful park now. I mean, we see people, I've seen couples, I've seen kids, I've seen...
Mattapoisett is blessed. It has this beautiful park here. It has, of course, Shipyard Park. The time they built it, there was a lot of discussion whether it should be here on Ned's Point. The people from Marion and Wareham, they wanted it out there.
Closer to them.
Closer to them. But since Mattapoisett was by far the busier seaport,
right,
it got built here.
Well, that's a little bit of the history on Ned's Point Light. If you want to know more, you can look at the website, you can look it up yourself, or why don't you just take your boat here and come to Mattapoisett. That's it for this edition of New England Boating. What a great time we have had meeting the people and seeing the sights and exploring this historic harbor.
Yes, whether you come by sea or land, Mattapoisett is a town definitely worth a visit. The people are friendly, the fishing is great, and the ice cream first rate. In the weeks ahead, Parker and I will be exploring more coastal locations like Mattapoisett, and you can find our itinerary on newenglandboating.com. Till then, I'm Tom Richardson.
And I'm Parker Kelley. Thanks for joining us.